roaming capability, we've come to a KT team that is vastly different than what we saw with Fixer.
Yeah, it is time for picks and bans for game number 1 between IM and KT, the Rek'Sai ban. First off, against Score. And it's going to be interesting because we have officially moved, guys, to patch 5.14, and that means Elise is back.
Yeah, in a big way, too. We may see those bans start coming through. It's interesting to me that Callista is still such a priority ban after her nerfs, and the rise of some of these other dangerous champions that we see. No Twisted Fate ban yet, which is interesting from IM. That's a typical blue side ban these days.
You know, 2 jungle bans already from IM. Do you think they are trying to set it up for just an Elise first pick? Do you think we'd see that right away?
I think we very well might, considering they're banning out power picks. Now, Score will probably revert to Echo if that happens, and they could do something like run a kite composition. 3
There's Eve.
Jungle bans.
They are definitely going for this Eve, or this Elise rather.
I agree, but Echo's still there. Echo got some buffs in this patch.
You got a little bit more reduced cooldowns and some of his abilities, which does help.
It's pretty nice, especially the phase dive when we're talking about setting up parallel convergences.
Very true. Got the lower cooldown on the Q and the E. And what's that final ban going to be? Do you just ban the Elise?
Rise.
Okay, well, Rise did get nerfed this patch,
that
too.
is very unusual.
Yeah.
I would say.
They're going to first pick the
Echo?
Echo. What is going on here? So, really prioritizing that Echo. Do they know it's patch 5.14? Because, yeah, like we talked about, Echo got a little bit better. But, man, that Elise, we've seen what she can do in other regions. She's so strong right now. That said, KT has been a little bit slow to pick up picks, to pick up things that have big changes and patches, but I would still be very surprised if we don't see that Elise get chosen very, very soon, at least once or twice today.
Yeah, it's possible that they're going to flex the Echo and try and fool them and take Elise in the second round of the draft if KT doesn't take it, but Echo's still not a very good laner.
Yeah, I mean, he just simply doesn't do a ton of damage most of the time.
Yeah. So they're going to take
the Elise, yeah.
They're going to take Victor Elise right here. A bit of a surprise considering that Nagne has preferred the Azir, but with the Azir nerfs, perhaps this is going to be the new priority champion for KT Rolster.
Yeah, that attack speed on Azir moved over to his W sort of in a certain sense, but
the most important nerf was that his E no longer knocks up, because that makes landing his E to R combo a lot more difficult without using flash.
Very true. Well, 2 pretty strong picks for KT already. No Nocturne bans, not yet. Someday Nocturne will come back.
Someday.
Someday. He's too good. He's too good in theory.
I really don't get this first pick Echo Doa. I hope there is something crazy that I'm missing out on, but otherwise, it's not a bad champion by any means. Still going to be very strong, even stronger in the jungle than it was previously, but...
Well, I mean, I don't even think you can do something like invade Elise early on and just try to fight or something like that. I think Elise would still win that.
It's very questionable.
Elise's level 1 stun on her E,
okay,
snare rather, went from 1 second to 1.6, man. She's like so much stronger.
They took Nidalee. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. Frozen currently has teleport queued up in the mid lane. This is some wacky strategy that IM has designed, and you can see Someday right there tapping his temples, trying to figure it out on your screen, because I have no idea what Incredible Miracle is doing.
You know, you don't suppose that's like a support Echo or a support Nidalee, do you?
It could be. I don't know anymore, Doa.
Yeah. I think the Shen is a good choice, just because you don't know what's going on. Thresh, also such a good all-around support, and if you have Shen ready to jump in and save somebody, it's nice. The double globals, I think, are a good choice to be ready for anything.
Yeah, and the Thresh, too. We've seen KT absorb all those Thresh bans because Peekaboo has so much of an effect on the map when he plays that champion. No shortage of roaming. They're actually saving their AD carry for last. So KT taking quite a long time to decide here. Maybe they go for the Kog'Maw, which has gone unbanned, and KT has prioritized that champion very heavily recently.
How do you think top Nidalee would do against Shen? Or top Echo, perhaps?
I mean...
Because if they lock this in, it's one of those are probably, well, then, I mean, No, it's got to be
it's a Maokai top. That's what we know. The question is which is going mid and which is going jungle.
Probably
now with
Echo.
the CDR buffs, we could see that, but Corki and Annie going to be the last two logs, so they have strong engage, good zone control, but pretty heavy emphasis on magic damage right now from LZIM.
Probably a mid Echo then.
I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, they picked Echo first, so they must be very confident in flexing that pick into a different matchup. Once they saw Victor, they locked in the Nidalee.
Yeah.
Nidalee's a very good jungler right now.
True. So it's the 80.
I'd be a bit scared to run Kog'Maw into Maokai, Annie. That would worry me.
Well, I think if KT picks this Ezreal, they're kind of just saying, all right, we're just going to go as safe as we can. We're going to give ourselves a lot of outs as far as ganks go, because it smells a bit cheesy from IM. And so if you pick a comp with Ezreal, with Shen, with champions that can either play safe by their turret or get away if they need to, it's probably a good way to sort of try to counteract it as much as you can. Let's see where things go. Okay, so it will be a mid Echo then, probably.
Probably. Okay, I agree with the Ezreal pick though, and I think this is the proper reaction. I don't know anymore. I mean, Ignar could be playing a support Echo here, I suppose, but I don't think so.
They have time to switch. I mean, up to 20 seconds, I believe. Yeah, they can switch. All right, well, looks like it will be that mid Echo most likely for Frozen.
Yeah, but since the damage nerfs to AP Echo, sure, the lower cooldowns are going to help you significantly in the laning phase and increase your total DPS, but I'm not entirely sure that with the nerfs to his passive, this is going to be enough. I'm very curious to see how Frozen is going to build him this game into Victor.
Yeah.
So they first pick the Echo, and then flex it after seeing the Victor. So
you don't think maybe with Zeke's Harbinger, Echo is able to suddenly just burst people really hard, right?
No, I don't think so. Huh. Well, that said, Corki does benefit from both the AP and the AD. I'm really, really curious about this. I have no idea what they're doing. I think that KT just going for the Ezreal when they have no idea what's going on is just very reliable. Remember, Arrow, when he was back on Zenith Storm, he made a name for himself playing Ezreal, so we know he's a great Ezreal player. Always has been.
Yep, certainly can play safe when he needs to as well, and no surprise to see that Elise coming back, but it is time. IM versus KT. Can KT get themselves one step closer to locking up second place? Let's get in the game and find out. All right, welcome to Summoner's Rift. Longzhu, Incredible Miracle versus KT Rolster here on our first day of the week for Champion Summer. Glad you're with us. Thanks for watching.
Very curious draft, Doa. Especially since Echo was a champion that even when he was at his strongest in terms of solo laning, we never really saw in Korea. Certainly some players tried to play it. We saw Kuro toy around with it a little bit, but it was really never considered strong by the pro teams here.
Yeah, it was never too popular.
I'm curious if perhaps the AP itemization changes maybe have shifted certain teams' viewpoints on the Echo, but it is quite fascinating.
Predicting a 2-0 for KT. I think that's a pretty safe thing to predict.
Well, considering KT has beaten every team that they faced except for SKT in the second round robin.
Yep, and IM has started players that have lost their last 9 games.
Yep.
Well, KT coming in, but IM's waiting for them. This could get interesting.
Check the bush with a Spiderling right there.
Throwing out that Time Winder, somebody taking a lot of damage. There's a stun from Annie. Not getting the flash or anything.
Nope, not even forcing him to skill his taunt first, so they disrupt the sapling start. Someday is not going to have too much HP for the double jungle, so he's going to be able to tank less for Elise than he normally would. But yep, first game of Elise buffs, Elise is right back in as expected.
Yeah, and you have to know that like in the Najin team house right now, Watch is like jumping up and down. He's so excited. He's like, we are going to Worlds, guys. We'll see if they can make it work.
She's going to get nerfed again soon.
Yeah, but
spoiler.
Will it be nerfed before Najin qualifies for Worlds? That's the question.
I would say yes. All right, Peekaboo is here.
Pretty quick nerf.
Some solid level 1 cheese.
Yep, and we see this a lot. There's a Flay. Decent amount of damage loaded in onto Frozen. Frozen goes back in with a bit more damage from his Q.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if Peekaboo takes damage because they're in a lane swap situation, so he's not really... That is
Elise OP.
That is true. That is true.
Yep.
That is a very true sign.
I think that that was a proper artist representation of Elise winning games as well, too.
Giant spider eating you.
Yep, pretty much. We're just kind of shouting at you.
Is that what Elise does? The shouting spider?
I think so. That sounds terrifying. Imagine like walking the forest at night with shouting spiders.
There you go. Subject for your first fantasy novel.
They'd have to sound scary though. They could be like, "Hey," that would not be scary. That would be just like, "Oh, shut up, spider."
More like death metal sounds, right?
Like,
raspy. That was the best death metal growl I've ever heard.
Thank you. Thank you. Man, I truly miss my calling. Yeah. I don't know what I was going for there. I wanted to save my
like
voice, you know?
Dying dog. Which is also coincidentally a good name for a death metal band.
That's a great name for a death metal band. Yeah, it's true.
So I guess you nailed it after all.
Nailed it, right. I had the plan the entire time. Well, Roar force out a lane. No support means no CS. My accent is all over the place today. No support means no CS. Saints preserve us.
Doa goes to Ireland.
I guess so. Yep.
I'd watch that documentary.
Me too. I'd love to be in it. Yeah. But an idiot abroad hasn't been canceled yet, so I think the market's cornered there.
Hey, you can always just do the American remake. That's the popular thing to do with British TV shows anyway.
That's true, but I like traveling, so I wouldn't be very good at that. I'd have fun.
I like how that's what you pick instead of I'm not an idiot. But we'll just ignore that.
Haven't you seen that show though?
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
Out of all the
take you
things
to the land of the screaming spiders.
Of all the things you could have picked about that show.
I don't
to
know.
not replicate. That would not have been the first one that I would have said.
Well, you know, I don't want to blow the illusion. Oh, snipe that raptor. Robert Muldoon style.
No, he didn't actually. He
well,
just died. If he had missed it, you could say that.
I was talking more about book Robert Muldoon. You know, the one who lives? The Muldoon who lived?
Spoiler, Muldoon lives in the book and John Hammond dies.
That's right, yeah. Spoiler in case you haven't read this 20-plus-year-old book. Well, meanwhile, things pretty even, just kind of farming up. And there's a sign with a lot of Korean on it.
Very nice. Very nicely written. It's very interesting to look at. Well, Maokai going to be coming here to the mid lane right now. Nagne. Be very careful about his positioning. He has cleanse, so it's not.
And he is being careful too.
It's not actually that much of a threat. They know Maokai's not on the top side, and they saw him walk down there with a ward.
Yep. Well.
So Frozen actually flipped back to teleport at the last second. I failed to mention that. So there's something very interesting. Now, when we saw Echo Mid played previously, how Kuro used him. I think Kuro was the most effective Echo Mid player, and even then he wasn't very effective. But you just ult back into lane, so you want to keep pushing. And now the Time Winder's on a lower cooldown.
Here we go. Here we go. And getting behind the minion wave.
So now that Time Winder is on that lower cooldown, you can spam it more. But the point is, and how Kuro played it was, I want to chip your tower down very quickly. So when he recalls, he would just use the chrono break to get back into lane immediately, push the wave, and start autoing the turret, while the enemy mid laner was also back in base. So when you think about it, with Corki and with Echo, you're going to have a nice power spike where you're going to be able to take down the outer ring of turrets and then maybe control the dragon after that. So it's a bit of a curious situation. Let's see what exactly Frozen does. Oh, he's not actually recalling yet. But with the teleport and the chrono break, he can get back to lane very efficiently, and he can still make plays on the map. So think of this as the same way we would think of the Twisted Fate with teleport. When we saw GBM do that, he would just TP back to his mid lane turret.
Whoa.
And then while the enemy laner was already back, go ahead and make a play on his side lane. He can still do that using this by chrono breaking, pushing up the wave, then TPing into a side lane. Could be interesting. I don't think it's that good, but I could be wrong.
There is an adorable drawing of all the IM players, all 10 of them.
So many IMers.
I have many. So, very, very passive game. I thought we'd see a little bit more aggression from this Elise early. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I would try, but it's hard to gank some of these lanes. First off, Arrow's going a blue build, so there's not a lot of damage. And we've seen that lane swap, so there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to gank in conjunction with Peekaboo. So blue build Ezreal means that KT is going to have to just hold on for a little bit. They have the stronger late game here for sure. It's a matter of getting there. And we do see Frozen didn't actually use either his Chrono Break or his TP. He just bought Home Guard boots. This is so weird, Noah.
I mean, yeah, you could try to teleport Home Guard engage with Echo, I suppose, but he's just not going to be doing any damage.
He does offer a lot of crowd control, though, so that's
if you can land it.
But who is he going to feed exactly on this team? Because he doesn't have a late game damage threat in his AD carry. I mean, sure, Maokai getting tanky is annoying, but Ezreal's going to build a Blade of the Ruined King and have enough damage, and especially with the Victor Burst too. Confusing strategy from Incredible Miracle. I'm waiting to see it unfold before my eyes.
And there was no fast tier from Tucson or anything like that, so this Nidalee isn't going to do as much damage as some of the Nidalees we've seen in the past as well. So,
well,
where's the damage going to come from?
Most of the Nidalees these days build the new Rod of Ages, since it gives you more AP than it used to.
That's true.
It's become a more efficient item for jungle Nidalee because you didn't really need that HP, especially in the late game. If you, a couple hundred HP isn't going to do much for you on Nidalee late. The AP and the mana is much more valuable. Since you get more of those stats from the Rod, it tends to be a more reliable option post-Runeglaive these days.
Yep. Well, that said, Ignar's still roaming about. Peekaboo's still level 4, actually. Nope, that just turned 5 now. Still a bit behind Ignar in levels overall.
Yeah, it's been more focused on making plays in the lane. Magne has that upgrade now, so he'll be able to instantly clear those waves on the Victor. And Frozen just has to rely on... Oh, he's interesting. Score's going Runeglaive. I'm a bit surprised by that. High damage Elise build as opposed to going for Cinder Hulk, which has been what I've seen from a lot of Elises, and more what I would expect at the professional level. Now, IM is going to get a chance here to get onto this dragon, but there's the TP.
Yeah, teleport coming in. There was a ward right there, and IM scatters. Peekaboo still hanging out, not finding an opportunity, but he's going to keep that dragon leash. Can KT possibly take it here? With Tucson there, it's going to be risky. They're going to come in. Tucson tries to take it. He does get the dragon, but he's going to get death sentence as well. So they're going to give first blood over to Nagne. So a dragon for first blood on the mid laner on the other side. Where do you rate that one? Seems like a bit of a wash to me.
I'm just surprised that IM was as afraid as they were. Basically, they psyched themselves out because someday would have had to have been crazy to TP in like that into the middle of them like he did. But yet there he was.
That's called pure intimidation. That's something only Someday can pull off right there.
Arrow and Sora were not even. They were walking out of base at the time, and IM, while they didn't have total control over the mid lane, Frozen doesn't really have great combat items right now.
Well, IM also takes the first third of the game, but they're still down in gold a little bit just because the CS, especially in mid lane, is in the favor of KT at the moment.
This is so weird, Noah. I don't get it. I don't get why you would scatter like that. Again, Echo didn't have the best stats, but Apple, there was just no one there. And they didn't know that no one was there because
that's probably why you do it.
Score had taken Krugs in topside and then recalled, and they couldn't see him doing that. But
well, that's why then. You know, you just don't have the information.
Wow, I think that was like a bluff by Score, and it actually sort of worked. They still got the dragon because after IM scattered, they realized, wait, where is the jungler? So Tucson was able just to hop right into the pit and smite it. Ended up paying for it with his life, but considering they got a tower and a dragon for a kill. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good trade for Incredible Miracle.
You still do give that first blood over to Nagne, which he'll certainly be putting to good use.
Morello Nomicon is going to be the first buy on Frozen. I'm confused. Very, very confused. Meanwhile, a lot of Hex core upgrades for Nagne already.
Yeah.
Eschewing any kind of mana regen from his build. All right, Score and Peekaboo are here. They want to turn up the pressure in the mid lane. And they've got some great wards in the top side jungle to do it.
You know, I suppose if you upgrade the Hextech core quickly like that, you've got a shield that's a little bit better for tangling with an Echo who's got his own shield. Yeah, you know, you've got good wave clear.
Yeah, you can see Frozen using the W shield right there just to move forward in lane and try and last hit some of those minions. It's not much that's going on here in this match so far. Shen paid for that TP with his tower.
But a pretty passive game. Oh, and there's the Cocoon on the Tucson. Nice hook from Peekaboo. That is a dead jungler. That was a beautifully executed catch by KT. Wow, that was smooth. And did you see the amount of damage the Score did there?
Well, at least, you know, now that her spiderlings deal magic damage, when she's in that spider form and she has a lot of penetration through Runes and Mastery, she can do a lot more than she used to. So that definitely working out for them, and you're right, very well orchestrated. But again, we've talked about the synergy that Peekaboo and Score have developed time and time again, and you can see that right there. Incredibly smooth mechanical play. They predicted where exactly Tucson would be. Tucson overextended and was punished for it immediately. Meanwhile, Arrow just happily farming under tower. Arrow actually up in CS this game.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to go in on Nagne here. Frozen trying to make play. Ignar over the wall with the stun. Nagne still doing a lot of damage. Has that shield. Dodges the spear. Is he actually going to get out?
He got the kill.
He's going to turn around and get the kill into Echo before going down. What a play from Nagne. Dodging all those skill shots. Getting the kill. That was a super play right there, guys.
That was very well played in what was a 1v3. Someday didn't get the chance to port in right there, but the shield itself was enough to allow him to live and to kill Frozen.
Well, it's over, man. I think that's our super play of the week right there.
Well, that's what I thought about Arrow last week, but I was wrong. So
yeah, well, we can only influence the fan vote so much.
All right, TP back to the mid lane right now from Frozen. I mean, Frozen, I want to see the replay of that so badly because Nagne used his Q shield and then the Shen shield to do so much. He cleansed the Flash Tibbers while gravity fielding himself to start that fight. Very well played.
So good. Meanwhile, the bottom turret getting a little bit low. If there's one thing KT has not been able to do as much this game, it's get damage down on their opponent's turrets.
Well, you kind of expect them in top and bottom to get pushed out early. Again, you're having a tier built on the Ezreal. That's not very helpful for trading in the laning phase. You're looking to scale. Victor has the good wave clear, but Shen, the same can't be said about Shen. So let's take a look at this. Nagne gets jumped on. There's the Tibbers, and we do see the TP come through. Then Nagne's just going to dodge. He's got a pink ward in the brush. Turn around as he was following through with the Chaos Storm.
It's actually a 1v4 right there. Man.
Yikes.
It's hard to gank Nagne. He's going to grab that blue buff that they do steal from the LZIM side of the map. And there we go. Now finally getting some damage done on the turrets of IM. And like you said, if you look at the late game, which it looks like KT is starting to pretty comfortably move towards, you know, where's the damage going to come from on IM compared to what KT is going to be able to do?
Yeah, especially since Roar, he's not ahead really in his matchup in the 2v2. He hasn't been able to get any kills yet.
Right.
Not really looking too good in that regard, just kind of going even with the exception of that turret kill. So we're going to take away the Scuttle Crab right now as second dragon is live. And IM is the one controlling that side of the map right now. They want to put some damage down onto mid now that they have the Trinity Force Corki. Let's see if KT can hold on. Tucson just taking an immense amount of poke.
Yeah, if Peekaboo had landed that death sentence, they may have been able to just blow him up. Either way, IM needs to be careful around here, but they do have good positioning for this second dragon. And if they can keep taking these, they'll be able to have a shot late game of putting that 5 dragon pressure on.
Yeah, probably not going to happen, though. Someday's already down here.
Tried to taunt Roar. Didn't quite work out. Someday takes some damage in return. But they're just going to use that to push ahead. And there's a flash play onto Ignar. Tucson on the outside. Peekaboo misses that death sentence. Ignar still getting low. Maokai's going to come in, and Someday taunts away through Apple. There's a chilling smite down on him. Roar on the side of the fight. Not really touched yet. They are going to get Apple. There's a double kill already for Nagne. And Tucson jumps in to try to take out Score. He's got such low health, but it looks like he's going to... Oh! The spear over the red buff pit. Grabs a kill for Tucson, and Frozen is in the wrong place right now, but it looks like he'll be able to skirt around the dragon pit to get away.
Yeah, but Someday's going to go back, and he still has TP up, so IM can't really fight this. Nice little delay onto Someday. I would not recommend going in onto this dragon. Victor and Ezreal are still full health.
Yeah, this seems like a bit of desperation at a time where you don't need to be that desperate from IM, but they are going to finally back off.
Peekaboo actually dodged the Tibbers with a flash play right there. That was pretty cute, but the rest of his team wasn't there to actually follow up on it as fast as they might have liked.
It was a nice spear from Tucson at the end there to pick up the kill onto Score rather, and Tucson has been able to grab a few kills here.
Victor is really scary right now, though. 4 out of the 5 kills onto Nagne's Victor. His burst damage is getting out of control. He's itemizing into MR, which is all this team needs. And I'm curious whether this Ruby Crystal on Score is going to turn into an Aegis, because that's a huge item pickup for KT in this game. I mean, all of their damage is magic, except for Corki autos.
You'd think KT would want to go for that pretty quickly. Meanwhile, IM goes for their second dragon, and they will get that pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, they waited it out right there. We did see a recall from Arrow, and so they couldn't actually contest that. They want to try and trade for a tier 1 in the top lane instead.
Meanwhile, KT pushing back down the mid lane. Game's still pretty even.
Yeah, no mana on Corki, though, and getting pretty low on Echo, too, and Nidalee.
Yeah, there we go. Tibbers on Nagne. He's going to get out of it immediately with that cleanse. They do burn the summoner, but have they caught Apple here? Peekaboo taking a lot of damage. Ignar coming in, helping Roar deal it. There goes Peekaboo, and KT has to back away.
Interesting that there was no teleport there used by Someday. The TP coming in from Frozen, so they're able to turn that little fight on its head, and now they may be able to get this. There's a flash W.
Oh, Nagne Shen tries to come down on him, but he doesn't make it. Nagne died just too fast, and that was a nice dive from IM.
Yeah, flash W from Ignar to set that one up. Very well done on the dive.
Wow.
And that is something that Echo is good at, but Someday still picking up answering turrets in the top side. Certainly the mid lane more valuable, but they do get something out of it.
The gold dead even kills dead even right now. I am ahead on turrets and dragons too, so KT probably starting to sweat a little bit.
Nice dive. Look at that flash W. They know he's going to come and try and clear it out. Valk, twisted advance. Absolutely everybody just on Nagne's face right there.
Well, it worked. They got the kill.
They did it.
And if they can keep doing that, they are definitely going to win a lot of team fights.
So everything returning to somewhat normalcy right now. KT still lagging behind in those turrets, and that was one thing that IM could get in this game, is they need to hit this early power spike, but they have to get a gold lead off of it. They want to make it worthwhile, and that's the big thing. They may have 2 dragons, they may have 2 more towers, but they're even in gold.
It does seem like the map control right now just isn't quite as important, because KT can just sit back and farm and stay even power-wise, and they know they're going to scale better into the late game.
Yeah, you can play a patient game here if you are KT, and you'll be feeling just fine. It will be that Aegis too, and the big problem again is that such an overwhelming amount of magic damage onto IM. I'm actually happy that it looks like we're seeing Roar. Is he going for? Difficult to tell. He got a pickaxe before he got the BF sword and longsword. He probably needs an infinity edge here.
I would imagine IE is what he's going to be going for because he knows he needs damage more than most games with Corki.
Yeah, he also didn't get the Sork shoes this game to spending his money on attack
arrow.
damage instead.
Arcane Shift out of that stun, doesn't get hit with it. Frozen's going to come in anyway. It's a decent amount of burst. Here comes Peekaboo though. Frozen about half health, has to back away. Nagne was there as well too.
Interesting attempt at an all-in. Now Frozen has been building towards a Zhonya's Hourglass. Looks like he may just want to try and 1v1 Arrow, but Arrow with that Blade of the Ruined King active makes it so he's quite easy for him to kite, as we saw the Echo.
Yeah. Oops, Taunt comes in onto Apple. Where's the Cocoon? Elise, score getting closer. There it is. They land it. Apple gets away though.
Yeah, so not a lot of kill pressure up there without the Elise actually repelling into that situation. So just looking to push back the Maokai for the moment. Arrow just taking a lot of farm underneath his turret. IM needs to make a play on the Baron or something relatively soon if they want to take this game home, because the turtling of KT, especially with the fact that Victor is already very dangerous, is a bit of a problem.
Well, Nagne has got the Shredder cosplay going on, so it is turtle power for KT this game.
It's the turtle power with the Shen, the Shredder Shen. They can't actually call it that, though.
I feel like Victor looks more like Shredder than Shen does, actually.
I see.
IMO. No Twitch this game. We don't have a turtle champion in League of Legends either yet.
Oh, come on, there's Rammus.
Yeah, but he's more of an armadillo than a turtle, though.
I think he's technically an armadillo.
All right.
I think that's what Riot actually calls him.
Like Pantheon, the Stanpar.
They actually changed that. Yes.
We'll never let them forget,
when
though.
When Pantheon was released, he was not a Spartan. He was an anagram, which was a Stanpar. Yeah, that's creative bankruptcy in a nutshell for you right there.
I like to see some effort put into the lore. I know what we need to do. Just start disabling champions.
That's right. It's the way forward. Or lore word, if you will.
That's right. Next summer celebration, some champions just decide to go on vacation, so like 5 or 6 just get disabled for a week or 2. They're on vacation, guys, having the pool party.
Maybe some of them will get trapped in an alternate dimension for a while. Or like they'll be imprisoned by Noxus.
Oh yeah, there we go. Add some drama to it.
Sorry. It's not only Dyrus who's in jail now, it's also Garen.
Well, he's going to become more powerful than you can ever imagine soon. You saw the news today. All those brawlers, man. Getting upgrades. Perhaps.
It's weird that Arrow doesn't have his Muramana completed yet. It's really late for that. Probably just a symptom of the late swap and getting a later tier.
Should be soon, though, either way, shouldn't it? Yeah. Uh-oh, trying to catch Frozen. There's a nice death sentence coming in. Frozen taking a lot of damage. Where's that ult? Box is not hidden. Peekaboo takes a ton of damage. Goes back in, tries to make a play there. Here comes Arrow. Apple coming down as well. Someday eats a spear, but he's pretty tanky. There's a taunt onto Apple. He's still so tanky. Score Nagne coming down as well. It's turning into a 5v5. A flash from the top laner. Tibbers already used. And KT will just back up. So a lot of stuff used there, but no kills for either side just yet. Teleport coming in, though, from Frozen.
Echo.
Comes back with that home guard. Goes in on a Nagne. Nagne getting jumped on again. Trying to get away. He's going to turn and take out Frozen. And now KT a man up as Someday tangles 1v2 in the bot lane. Ignar, you're in big trouble, buddy. Oh, stun. But it's a big scary spider. Goodbye. Look out! It's terrifying, man, when that thing runs after you. 2 kills for KT. And LZIM may have overstayed their welcome in that team fight. Dragon is up, and it looks like KT has started getting strong enough to just say, hey, we're going to fight you for every objective now.
Well, I mean, Frozen recalled and then TP'd back into that fight. Didn't have his ultimate available at the time. Tucson maybe trying to steal this, but there's a nice... Oh, he got it!
Oh, wow, nice steal from Tucson. Even if he doesn't get away, and he's going to get away. And now Score is in a little bit of trouble. Make that a lot of trouble. Dodges the spear, has to burn the flash to do it, though. Tucson being the hero on this Nidalee.
Jeez, that dragon takeaway was so important for IM. They can get a 5th dragon stack before 40 minutes. They're going to be in a good position to win this game after a sloppy fight. KT got the kills right here. I mean, we take a look at this again. Frozen, he just tries to get in there onto Nagne. That was actually very creative. Nagne flashed into the parallel convergence, but still had the Chaos Storm down.
Well, Baron started by IM, but they had to take a break from it for the moment. Recall's coming in, and KT does take the bottom turret, so they do answer back. And the thing is, after all this, KT is still 2,000 gold ahead.
Yep. It's really the Dragon that's keeping IM in the game right now. Very, very tenuous position for Incredible Miracle, but if they can sneak a Baron, they'll be in a good position. QSS now done onto Tucson after the Rod of Ages, so very concerned with the Elise lockdown and the Shen lockdown that's presented here. Someday they're after him.
Yeah.
Oh, Timber miss.
And he's going to try to ult. He didn't get stunned. Can he make it out? Yep, he can.
No more stun. That was he was quick to realize that Annie was the only stun coming at him, so just stand United out of that situation. Good heads-up play there by Someday.
Yet another example of Shen being a terrible ninja. When he actually gets in a fight, the only thing he does vanishing-wise is escape. Oh, speaking of escape, I don't know if there is one for Apple here. Stun comes in on to score, but Apple's so low. Looks like he's going to make it out. Oh, never mind. True shot barrage from Arrow. That's going to finish him off and pick up the kill, and they're going to get a turret for it as well.
Yeah, huge wave setup in the top side, so another tower falls in favor of KT Rolster. They're starting to really get rolling now on the map. You can see the power of their composition. Maokai had some nice resists and armor there, but it's not enough quite yet. Arrow really starting to power up too. Has the Muramana finally completed?
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where the dragon isn't a luxury for IM anymore. Now it's like a you must take the fourth dragon or you lose.
Or Baron. You know, one of the two. Maybe if you could trade a dragon for a Baron, you'll be in a good situation. But it's still getting less and less likely for them to win at this juncture, considering the lead that KT has amassed.
Well, yeah, we've been seeing how these team fights have started to go, and it's all KT.
Now, Frozen's done a good job playing the map with the teleport, but what you have to remember is that Shen has 2 globals on his own. So basically with Apple and Frozen, you're kind of evening out for one Shen. Unless you can gank the Shen with a teleport, then you might actually have some sort of effect right there. Otherwise, the teleport onto Echo, not really going to be doing a whole hell of a lot.
You just got to watch out for the dreaded 2 Shens.
That's right.
WTF, man, 2 Shens.
We're almost to blind pick, though. It's almost playoffs.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm sure we're going to get some blind picks this season.
We need more. We need more blind picks.
We always need more blind picks. They're one of the glorious aspects of
Yes, they are.
Korean League of Legends.
I've been impressed by Tucson's Nidalee this game. It's not something we've really seen him play, but it's been it's been very good.
I think IM has put up more of a fight this game than I thought they would. I'm not sure the first pick Echo was the answer, but they're certainly not. They're hanging in there relatively well, and they are doing it. They did do a good job playing the Dragons early, picked some safe timings, abused KT's power trough. It's just probably isn't enough because they didn't get a gold lead out of it in the end.
Oh, red buff. Oh, that was really close, actually. They knew they knew Roar was doing it because of the ward in that brush. They could probably see Roar even if they couldn't see the red buff. Well, Nagne getting chased down here by Tucson. That spear did not come anywhere close to hitting.
Well, Fresh Lantern would have solved that problem anyway. They are trying to push up right now. Arrow actually in the 1-3-1 at the moment. But Victor is here with ultimate wave clear powers.
Ultimate wave clear powers.
That is his superpower, is ultimate wave clear.
Wow.
He's like a new deadlier Ziggs.
Why do you call it true shot barrage? It's not a barrage. It's not true damage. It's true as in that I guess it exists, but I've never gotten that name. Score coming in. Ooh, he catches Frozen. Where's the follow-up, though? Not a lot to speak of. They're going to chase this anyway. They've saved the turret, but I don't know how far you want to. Oh, yeah, Someday coming in. Going on to Ignar. There's a play from Peekaboo. They're going to get the flash right away. Nice grab onto Roar. Roar takes some shots. Apple could get into the back lines with Tucson here. It's a bit dangerous. Everybody grouped up. Uh-oh, they got to be really careful. KT trying to kite backwards here. They're doing a lot of damage. Frozen with the zonies. He got the shield on him as well, too. Gets out. Chaos Storm doesn't do a lot. Arrow. Arcade just had another nice grab from Peekaboo, and there's a kill for Arrow. Someday trying to lock up Apple. Flash taunt onto Ignar. That's a double kill now for Arrow. And Tucson on the run. Can they catch Apple here? I would imagine Arrow probably again. Mystic shot misses. Arcane Shift could come in. Over the wall, fighting the Krugs. There we go. Finally getting the kill. Not fast enough for the triple, but 3 kills in that fight. Either way, a good fight for KT and Arrow.
Yeah, they're going to try and stop Someday and Nagne's recalling right now, but they do get a little nervous.
Whoa, meanwhile, Roar comes in, manages to pick off score, but is it worth it? Another kill goes to KT. Someday picks that one up. And I don't think that was a wise decision for Roar.
I mean, they did kill the Smite, so theoretically Tucson could steal Dragon number 4, which is why Someday is healed off right now. That fight was so much about Peekaboo, by the way. His hooks allowed them to re-engage. First off, it was a great kite back into a choke point for Victor, which prevented IM from getting on top of them. But first Dragon of the game for KT Rolster. They will be very happy to have that, as it takes away IM's probably primary win condition right now. Let's take a look at that again, because this is so well played. First off, Lantern back into the choke. Box covers up the whole choke. Nagne has the Chaos Storm down and swirling, and they're able just to kite Frozen out. He does have to zone yes before he can trigger the parallel convergence, then chrono breaks immediately. But look at this re-engage. Arrow moving forward with that arcane, arcane shift, and now flash taunt onto Ignar, double kill for Arrow, and then just pursues the Maokai. Pretty darn easy after that point, but what a great team fight position for KT. They really used, not only did Peekaboo play the Thresh well in that fight, they used Thresh's kit to maximize the effectiveness of the team fight in that choke point. Yeah. Because remember, IM doesn't have a lot of AoE damage.
Well, Peekaboo continues to just be an incredible addition to this team, and yet another fight where his mechanical plays have really made the difference. And Arrow picking up 3 kills in that last fight was so big as well, too.
Arrow just has Iceborne.
Yep, because why not?
I guess. I mean, I suppose the philosophy is if we can kite like we did in that last fight, then we'll just clean you up in choke points with a slow field.
Not to mention as well, too, he can, slow people down so that Victor can do a lot of damage as well. That Chaos Storm is going to be able to sit right on them, and Someday coming in with the
How is he always behind them?
I have no idea, but they've nearly killed Frozen already. They're going to hook the top laner. Someday's still alive, gets another taunt in there. The first kill comes in for Nagne, and they've got LZIM on the run. Now, Apple was able to slow them up a little bit, but was it enough? Tucson trying to get out of there, and it looks like KT is going to be happy with 2 kills. They can just head right for Baron if they want to. Tucson's still a bit of a threat, of course, but I think that KT can feel pretty safe at least starting this one.
Yeah, they can just go ahead and do it right now. They have full HP, 2 members down from IM. All they have to do is zone out the Nidalee, and Peekaboo will go on a solo mission to do that. They're going to croon the wave with the True Shot Barrage on the bottom side because they already have wave control in top.
Yep.
So they're going to keep on pushing that one up. Someone's going to go take that bottom wave, but I can't believe that Someday keeps getting behind. He's not even using TP or Stand United to do this. He just somehow gets behind them. Second fight in a row that he's done that without actually having to use one of his globals.
He is a sneaky ninja. I never thought I'd say it. I never thought I'd say it about a Shen, but he is being a sneaky ninja this game.
He is. And normally you'd think, well, they'd have to give up some sort of side wave control, but they actually had control over top, and bottom lane wasn't looking too shabby. They're able to clear it out with the Ezreal ultimate, so...
Just not a lot of wards in that bottom jungle, though, or top jungle, rather, for KT on bottom side, so I think he just kind of walked through there.
Someday is such a good flank player. It is absolutely ridiculous. He is incredibly good in this meta. He's definitely making a case for himself as the best top laner in Korea right now.
He's a monster, man. I call him Flankenstein.
Jeez. You're horrible.
I know. Thank you. That's what the Korean players call him.
They call it, yes, that's true.
That's true.
Man,
Oh, True Shot Barrage nearly picks off Roar.
Yeah, still no Last Whisper for Arrow. Not really sure about this build, considering there's a Frozen Heart and a Zhonya's on the other team, but seems to be doing enough work as it is.
That strong split push, too, from Someday. It's certainly a lot to worry about for LZIM. And, like you said earlier, they did put up a decent fight, but KT was able to sustain. They didn't fall far enough behind that IM was able to get the win. KT just way too strong in the later stages of this game. Oh, Frozen's going to try to come in and make a play. Can't make it. And the siege continues. Oh, Tibbers lands on Arrow, but he immediately gets out with that Quicksilver Sash. There's a lot of silver in names in League of Legends, you know that? True silver, quicksilver.
Not enough gold, really.
Yeah, it's true. Where's the gold?
Yeah, is there really isn't Jarvan's shield golden?
Maybe.
Something?
I don't know.
I don't remember what his W is called.
I don't know. Can't remember either. I mean, Ezreal has golden hair, I suppose.
Yeah, but no golden names.
No, it's true. I mean, TF has a golden card.
Gold card.
Yeah.
It's called pick a card, though.
No, one of the cards is gold, though.
Or it's just yellow, you know, who knows? Yellow card sounds like he's giving you a warning, though, so that's probably why they didn't do that.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't just warn you, he stops you completely. There are no warnings in TF's world.
Well, it should be a pretty easy closure for KT Rolster right now, just wanting to make sure that they are never on the cusp of 5 dragons, so go ahead, wait 30 seconds for that objective to come up. I think that is probably a smart idea.
And KT should be able to pretty comfortably take this dragon.
Jason's going to have to go for it. Uh-oh.
Oh, he may not be able to steal this one. Nope. Arrow doesn't even need that true shot barrage. Just in case, just in case. Wanted to see if Ignar was still around. But
He's like, who's back here right now?
yeah. Oh, nobody. Okay, I'll take the lantern.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's fun. We haven't seen Elise in the meta for a while. Now we get to see that synergy with Thresh once again. Does make landing the cocoons extremely easy.
I don't think we're going to see a first pick Echo in game 2.
I don't know what this Echo is supposed to do. I'm still just trying to figure out the theory of the teleport Echo in the mid lane, and I'm coming up just a little bit short. It doesn't seem like it'd be a great counter to Victor.
It hasn't been able to do anything like flank, which you would assume is part of the idea, given that he took teleport as well, too. It just hasn't happened.
Yeah, he really hasn't been much of a backline threat.
Yeah.
He's been forced by KT to funnel into chokes.
Oh, Tibbers comes down on the score. There's a little bit more damage coming in, but the turret goes down as well. And KT barely slowed by the CC coming in from Incredible Miracle. He's taking a lot of damage. They hook Tibbers. And will they be able to get the inhibitor? Parallel conversions, they do stun someday, but man, Frozen took a lot of damage. They're going to get the kill anyway. Apple will be taken out as well. Peekaboo comes in, tries for the flash flay, doesn't catch him. Nagne wants to get a kill onto Frozen in the back. Looks like they'll just settle for that inhibitor, and I'd say that's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, just trading top laner for top laner right there. Not really a problem for KT because they take the inhibitor and the inhibitor turret off of it, so they'll be perfectly happy to take that. Someday has an Aegis right now that he had a Banner of Command that he just sold. Nope, he brought it back, okay. So double Aegis, which is smart against IM's composition, just piling on that MR, especially onto him and to Score. Considering that Score is a little bit squishier this game with the Rune Glaive, even though he did build straight tank afterwards.
Oh, more wave there. An arrow as well. And he's got that last whisper at this point, so the damage is quite high.
Yeah, finally picking up that item. And he will have a full build Ezreal right now.
Oh, that was very, very close. Use the Chaos Storm for that one.
That was greedy.
Oh, well.
It's like, now I can get red buff with it.
Yes, red buff acquired.
Red buff actually pretty good onto a Victor with that Lich Bane because you're trying to get in melee range, or not melee, but auto range anyway to spam your Q.
Yeah, I don't recommend getting in melee range with Victor.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Definitely don't do that.
Why are you telling people to get in melee range with Victor, Monty? That is horrible.
It's awful.
That is bad advice.
Okay, so we do have the bannered minion in the bottom lane right now. They're going to use that to put down pressure while they go for the Baron. That is spawning in 20 seconds. We'll see if Echo can clear that out in enough time. Of course, he does have the TP, so banner not quite so annoying for the likes of Incredible Miracle in this particular game.
KT just moving in to make sure that they've got all the wards set up for another strong Baron attempt. Baron's back. Is there anything IM can do at all? Don't bother answering that. I just know you're going to say no. Now you're trying to think of a way they can. I know you too well.
No, there's not.
I knew if I said that, you'd go back to no. A little bit of damage onto Frozen here. And Score looking for that cocoon. No opportunities just yet.
I mean, they could maybe hit the most epic series of Nidalee Spears and Corky Rockets to poke them ever.
Yeah, maybe that could happen.
It's probably not going to happen, though. Not without Peekaboo hooking somebody.
No hook there.
Nice poke, though. Up.
Oh boy, that's a lot of damage. Houston heals off it up. True Shot Barrage comes through, take a chunk out of Frozen. Someday knocked back by that Arcane Smash. Wow, they just blow up Echo instantly. Now the chase begins. Nice taunt onto Apple. Apple flashing away. He's got his ult. And even that won't be enough to survive the damage from Arrow. Eventually, there we go. There's the kill.
Chase everybody on the turrets.
Oh, all right, never mind. That's a bad idea.
Peekaboo is here with the Crucible to help out Nagne.
They'd rather just end the game, I guess. All right, top laner in mid, Dawn, they're gone. They're going to taunt in onto Roar. Roar getting back to Fountain, but the Nexus turrets are being taken out. Ignar doing everything he can, but everything is nearly nothing at this point. And the Nexus will go down, and KT takes a pretty smooth game number one with a kill on Roar at the very end. I mean, they made it competitive in the early stages, but KT just played safe, and with a comp like that, you can just go for the late game.
I'm just so confused, Doa, about what they were doing in the draft. They banned 3 junglers, and then first pick Echo. Did they think that Score couldn't play Elise? It just seems like you could have taken away maybe the Thresh or something else besides junglers, because it really didn't do you any favors. Sure, they took Echo and Nidalee. I guess that was their plan. They're like, maybe Score doesn't play Elise, but weird. Very odd.
It is really odd because I don't know. I feel like every jungler should play Elise right now. Especially, and Elise is really Score's kind of jungler too.